Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Reptile Barn. I'm standing here in front of little Anne's cage. She is our female Dominican Red Mountain Boa. Today is the day we are going to introduce Big Dan for the first breeding of the year. So you can see I've spruced up her cage a little bit. I added a little bit more plant cover, a little bit more things to climb on, a little bit more of a platform so she can bask if she wants. We added a light, so we've been cleaning up her cage, making it all nice and ready for breeding season. The reason we're starting now is one, because everyone says to kind of start at the beginning of December. Two, Big Dan has skipped his last 2 meals. Little Anne's still eating, but the male is off feed. So we want to go ahead and not waste any of this time where he's off of food, for his winter fast. So we're going to go ahead and introduce him. He's already producing sperm plugs. I got some on me when I was just holding him a minute ago, so that's gross. But we're going to wrangle him, get him in this cage. Let me just show you what we've done. I know we haven't shown this enclosure in a long time. This is a 4-foot long enclosure. It is 3 feet high and about 2 feet deep. So she's got a big water bowl, plenty big to soak in. She has a hide on the cool side, a hide on the warm side. These are all just fake plants, nothing alive in here. But yeah, so the walls are lined with cork. It helps hold in humidity. We're just using Reptile for her substrate. She should be, there she is. She's digesting a rat because she did eat. But yeah. So anyway, this is by the way, I don't know if I've ever talked about these before. This up here, the heating implement here, which is safe to the touch, by the way, which is awesome. That is a radiant heat panel from Pro Products. Obviously I don't get any endorsements from them or anything. I just love their products, everything. Prevenamite. Luckily we've never actually had mites, but we always keep Prevenamite on hand. When we purchase new animals, for example, we just preemptively spray their enclosures with Prevenamite before we put them in. We obviously use their radiant heat panels. We're going to probably order some of their Pro Mist systems. Anyway, just love them. So here is the enclosure. Let me capture Big Dan because it is kind of a capture. I wish I could get it on film, but I definitely need 2 hands to get him out. He's just so squirrely and his tail wraps around everything. And then I'll put him in and I'll pick up the camera again. So I'll be right back. All right. That was not nearly as difficult as I expected, although he did get more of his stuff on me. So I'm just going to put that in there. Where did he go? So he's off exploring now. He hasn't been in her enclosure since last year. Fun fact, the experienced breeders of these guys, there is a Facebook page for Chilobothris, which is the genus, tell me that most of the babies come out looking the same, but you can tell which ones are going to end up like red phase, for example, by their chins. If their chins are orangey red, then they're going to end up being a red phase animal. If they're not, then they're not. And that's totally fine. I think both phases are beautiful, but it's just kind of a cool identifier. Everyone has told me to leave them together for weeks at a time. So that kind of freaks me out because we don't do that with the ball pythons at all. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put him in. I'll probably wait 3 or 4 weeks. That really freaks me out. He's off of food completely. So we'll take him out. We'll feed her. We'll offer him food, but he probably won't take. And then we'll probably leave him out for like a week or 2, and we'll put him right back in for another several weeks. Some people even group breed. They'll put like 2 males and 4 or 5 females together, or just like a trio if it's just 1 male and a couple females. The males don't seem to fight. Their presence might elevate hormone levels, but anyway, so there's lots of ways to do it, but we only have 2, so we're gonna just have a pair. Wish us luck. We really, I know I'm tired and I'm not acting animated, but I really want a litter from this pairing. We've never produced any reptile except for ball pythons. I love my ball pythons. They're our main focus here at the reptile barn, but it would just absolutely make my whole year if we could get a litter of boas out of this. So, and it's not like a money thing. They're, in her first year, we might only get 7 babies, and these are $200, $300 snakes, so it's not like a, a huge money maker. I just really would be excited to get a live birth experience with our reptiles. Obviously we've produced feeder animals and stuff, but it's not the same. We want snakes and lizards, and that's kind of what we do. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get a litter. So Caspian has noticed that the snakes are out and about, and he's loving it. Do you see the snakes? Snakes. And they are going nuts. I'm not going to open the glass, so I apologize for the glare. But this is kind of what they do. They run all around. They go kind of crazy. I believe I'm looking at the female here. Yep, this is little Ann. Big Dan's just starting to try and curl up around her body there. He'll eventually work his way all the way up to where their heads are aligned and their tails are aligned, but she will put him through his paces first. She makes him really chase before she finally lets him catch her. It's not like the ball pythons. She runs from him, he chases, she runs some more, he chases. But every time he manages to catch up enough that his spurs can touch her body, he will pretty rapidly rub his spurs across her, like on her back, and she'll usually sit there for a minute and let him do that. And eventually she stops running and he catches up and they breed. They lock up, and maybe at some point we'll get to show that too. But here's Big Dan on the prowl. Caspian really wants to hold them. But now is not the time, my boy. But he finally caught back up to her, and she ran for it again. So now he's gonna chase after her again. All right, check this out. So that is Big Dan's tail looping down through there. This part of the body that you're seeing here, oops, too much, is little Ann. He is using his spur to kind of tease her along so she'll crawl further. He needs her to move further because he's not lined up yet with her vent. So he just tickles and teases with his spurs there. And I just wanted to show that on camera because it's a very positive sign of breeding behavior. It's cool to know, just as a bit of extra knowledge, but I don't see too much footage like this. And they're being really good. Daddy. Sweetie, hold on, I'm taking a little video, okay? Anyway, I'll leave them to it. I don't want to disturb them too much. But the glass is closed, so it's not like I'm right up in their faces, and I'm zoomed way in. Anyway, just wanted to add that to the footage we've been gathering on breeding these Dominican Red Mountain Boas and leave these two beautiful specimens to it. They are pretty much like an octopus right now. They're all just tangled all around each other, but that was just too cool not to show on camera, so figured I'd show that. Sorry, I know it's a little graphic for some viewers, but I definitely wanted those of you who are interested in their breeding behaviors to be able to see that, because it's not every day you get to see something like that. Anyways, I'll go ahead and turn off the camera. And until next time, we're the Reptile Barn.